Hey, welcome back to the Club Junkie podcast. Hopefully you're having a great week. It is Thursday, and we've got another show. Got a few things to talk about. There's a lot going on, and pretty exciting. So before we get into any of that, let's start off and let you know that this episode is brought to you by Titleist and the Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf ball. How does the best get better? Well, we're going to find out because now there's a new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. The original launch of the Pro V1 was in 2000, so this year marks the 25th anniversary of the Pro V1. Titleist R&D asked players what they wanted in the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X, and they said more spin on scoring shots into the green. R&D delivered as both models give players increased spin, but they also provide more speed off the tee and more control with irons. Many on tour are already teeing up the Pro V1 and Pro V1X, including Ludwig Oberg, Wyndham Clark, and Will Zalatoris. New Pro V1 is a great fit for most players and a great place to start in your golf ball fitting process. Compared to Pro V1, the new Pro V1X has a higher flight and a firmer feel. And then there's also Pro V1X Left Dash. If you're looking for a flight similar to Pro V1X, but with a much lower full swing spin, firmer feel, visit Titleist.com for everything there is to know about new Pro V1, Pro V1X, and Pro V1X Left Dash. So, we are back. It's been a good week. Just got back from playing in my annual event, my guys' trip. It was a whole lot of fun. I'm going to get into kind of more of the details of that in the second half of the show, but it was a whole lot of fun. We always have a blast, and it's always great getting together with all those guys, some of which I only see once a year, and that is at the event. So, whole lot of fun. Had some ups and downs, all that, but we'll get into that. But before we do, just want to let you know, we started publishing Members Choice over on GolfWRX. So if you're not familiar with Members Choice, or I mean, in a sense, if you're not familiar with GolfWRX is kind of who I work for. But we're a website that started as a forum in 2005, and our founder Richard was a member of other sites, particularly like Bomb Squad and some others. And things started to change over there in terms of culture. I was a member over at Bomb Squad a long time ago. And then, things started to change, and he decided he wanted to create a place where people could, talk golf. And, so he created GolfWRX back in 2005. So 2005 is when it started. I became a member of the forums in 2006, and for a long time, it was just the forums. There was no YouTube, there was no social, there was no front page, there was nothing. It was just a forum. And it was a great place to go hang out. And I joined, honestly, to, one, what's in the bag photos. Always loved, like everybody else, seeing what was in pros' bags, and then two, I was looking at the time. I wanted to start gripping my own clubs, so looking up for grip information. And like I said, YouTube was pretty much non-existent at that point, or maybe it was in its infancy. I don't know when it started exactly, but there's no like videos. You couldn't just go look it up and go do it. So I was looking for information on on gripping my clubs, and went in there and got a bunch of info and talked to people and all that. But that community has grown massively over the years, and there are a lot of people who are into equipment, hit a lot of equipment, they test a lot of stuff, they try a lot of stuff, just like I like to do and a lot of you like to do. And we started doing Members Choice a long time ago, and in the beginning of the year we do Fitters Choice, where we poll a lot of fitters and talk to them about what the clubs they've been seeing that are doing really well out there for certain player types and things like that. And then this part of the year is when we do Members Choice. So we just finished up doing Members Choice, and basically we just put in the forums, hey, go vote for your favorite driver, fairway, hybrid, all those things, and just basically made a big thing. You could select what you thought was the best club of the year, and take your votes. And a lot of the OEMs, they really like Members Choice. They like seeing what you guys pick as the best clubs and seeing what's out there. And it is as much as a bunch of people online doing golf stuff, the OEMs take notice of that stuff, and they notice who wins and who's on top, and kind of the trends and stuff like that. So it's very cool, and it's a whole lot of fun. I went in and voted. I voted for all my favorites in there, and a bunch of other people did too. And big thank you to anybody who's listening who is a forum member and who did vote, because this year was one of the bigger years that we've had in a while. That we had a lot of votes in there for all the different categories. So really cool to see people passionate about getting in there and saying, hey, this is what I like, and this is some of my favorite stuff. So whole lot of fun. I always think it's really cool. If you've also noticed, we partner with Second Swing on this, and myself and Drew over there did a great podcast talking about Members Choice. We've seen some of the clips that you may have seen if you're following me on Instagram at Club Junkie Pod, or you're following Second Swing or whoever. They definitely posted some, and I've been fortunate to be on there and chat. So it was cool to get on there and talk it up. So going to kind of do it there if you're not following, whatever, you haven't seen it. So we're going to jump into Members Choice. We're going to go through kind of some of basically the top fives. I'll probably throw in maybe something I'm shocked at that didn't make it. I'm just going to talk drivers and fairways. Those are the two that have been published so far. I don't think we've published any of the others. They would kind of do it like, each day. There's something new out there. Hybrids came out too, so we'll jump into hybrids also. But yeah, so we have drivers, fairways, and hybrids out. And as I said, it's something cool. I've always been a big fan. I've always loved voting in it. I always kind of felt like it was cool to have my voice heard. But we'll get into drivers, and these are people these are literally forum members. These are you hardcore golfers who love golf, who play a lot of golf, who hit a lot of stuff, and it's basically what you guys think is the best. So these are the ones that got the most votes. And, I'll kind of give you a few of the ones that came right after it as well. But for drivers, it's always the hottest one. It's always the one that gets the most votes. It's always the one that's most popular. The top 5 drivers. So at number 5, the Callaway Elite Triple Diamond came in with 6% of the vote, 6.02% of the vote. And, it's one of those that I actually thought that one was going to be a little higher. I thought, GolfWRX, if you're not familiar, is typically a group of players who play a lot of golf. There's a little bit lower handicap in terms of if you average everything out, and a lot of players who are kind of like higher swing speed, stuff like that. So you do see a lot of the lower spin type drivers there. The Triple Diamond is a really, really good one. I think Callaway did a great job of going from Paradigm AI Smoke to Triple Diamond. Paradigm AI Smoke I felt was like very kind of hardcore fade. It had a lot of fade to it. It's very low spin. And then Elite Triple Diamond, I feel like, is a little bit more playable. It's not quite as low spin, at least for me. And it feels like you can square it up a little easier, hit a little bit more straight. It doesn't have as much of that right starting line to it, to me. But a really good driver. And again, I thought this would be a little higher. I thought a lot of players, being in that category, would pick this driver. But a really solid choice there at number 5. The number 4, the Ping G440 Max, so just the standard Max at 6.86% of the vote. And the Ping Gs, of course, they're always in the running, and anytime there's a new year, G440 being new this year has been a huge hit. I think, sound and feel on both drivers, both the Max and the LST, I think are probably the best out there this year. I can't think of anything that I've hit that I like the sound and feel of better than the G440 Max and LST. I think they're extremely muted. They feel kind of softer off the face. You can kind of feel the ball compress, but really, really good in terms of that. And then in terms of performance, they of course perform. I mean, Ping's an every 2-year company, so you rarely have something that's a miss. They always pretty much seem to kind of improve on what they've done. And in Ping's MO, they don't go crazy. They're not going to come out and say this thing is wildly, insanely high percentage points better in areas that, compared to the last driver. They'll just tell you, hey, we've improved the ball speed, sound and feel, all that. And when you go hit this thing, most people will say the ball speed's definitely better, and as is that sound and feel. So really cool. And it's also interesting there, with the Max model, you're seeing a lot of LST out on tour, I feel like. But I feel like the Max model is not just the high launch, high spin head that people automatically associate with Max. When you see Max on there, everybody just thinks, oh man, it's just going to fly high, and it's got this big old draw to it and all that. I mean, it's pretty neutral. If you want to slide, it's got that rear weight. You can tune it, make it more fade, make it more draw. It's got the adjustable hosel, all those things on the Max and the LST. So, but the Max came in there, and I think this is one that even the high speed player, the better player, can go play the Max and have no problem with it. And of course, the kind of weekend warrior, slightly higher handicap player is going to hit it and really like it. It's going to offer that forgiveness. But I think them stepping up the ball speed game is a huge thing. And I think most people here now see that these things hang with the other drivers out there. And it's not something that you're going to give up a little ball speed just to play something forgiving. It's something that does it all, and it does it really, really well. So the Max comes in at 4. And then at 3 is its sibling, of course, the Ping G440 LST, so 9.53% of the vote. And again, lower spinning. You hit this there, it's definitely a little bit more neutral. It's not as easy to square up. It takes just a little bit more Probably has just even a slightly more straighter starting line, if not just a hair right. A little flatter trajectory, definitely lower spin. But shaping wise, it's a little bit more compact on the back end. It looks a little bit more rounded. It's not quite as tapered or pulled back. Again, the sound and feel fantastic. I think again they knocked it out of the park with that. But it's for that high spin player who needs that spin reduction, it's great. But the nice thing is too is a lot of high spin, lower spin heads, you tend to kind of lose some forgiveness for playability. Like it's just the way it is. And with these, you don't. The LST, you still get that spin reduction, but you also get forgiveness, and those are things, stability, and those are things that you don't see a whole lot. So while it may not be the hardcore low spin driver out there, it is pretty darn low spin, and it offers really good playability and really good forgiveness. So LST comes in 3. Number 2, the Titleist GT3. So I think, again, this just goes to the GolfWRX forums. Lower spinning heads tend to, do really well in this. And the GT3 is, while it is low spin and it is built for that higher speed player, it's not required to get the good use out of this thing. If you're just a player who wants a little bit of spin reduction, loves adjustability. I mean, on the sole, you have a sole weight that has 5 different locations: 2 out of the toe, 2 in the heel, and a central one in that plate. This year they pushed that plate, that movable weight plate, a little bit more forward towards the face. With the TSR, it was pushed back on the very back side of the club head. Still forgiving, still easy to hit, and then you of course have the sure fit hosel. So tons of adjustability in this head. You can really dial it in. When I hit them side by side, when I got fit for GT, I was pretty amazed at how easy it was to elevate GT3. I thought GT3 was going to come out in like a much, much lower window. And I think the beautiful thing of the GT3 is that you can make it do what you want it to do. If you need to come out low, hey, that's great. Get a lower lofted head, or take the sure fit hosel, make it a little bit more, lower the loft a little, and you're going to see a lower window. If you need to hit it high like me, you can go up to a 10-degree head and turn it up even, and hit a ball, and then having the adjustable sole plate to kind of dial in that toe or heel weighting. It's just really versatile, and I think a lot of players can dial this in and get it fit right to their swing, and I really liked it. So it's not as, it does lose a little bit of forgiveness, I think, moving that weight forward, but with that, composite crown now, take a lot of that mass, shove it back. So it still is pretty darn stable. It still is hittable. It just, gives that spin reduction that you need. And then if you need to flight it down or up, you and your fitter can kind of work on that and get that thing dialed in. But the other thing that, is great ball speed, great sound and feel. And the other cool thing is that GT3, GT2, even GT1 really, all kind of have the same look. When you look down at it, they don't look different. So when you go in and you and your fitter and you figure out the right one, you don't have to worry about oh man, I mean the GT2 played really well, and it's great that it's a little bit more forgiving. But man, I really love the look of the GT3. I wish I could have that. You get it both. You get it, those looks and sound and feel with any of the drivers, which I think is pretty cool. And then number 1 is the Titleist GT2. So the sibling, the GT2. And I think the GT2 is that it just casts a super wide net. You'll see guys playing it on tour. You'll see us weekend warriors playing it. You see competitive golfers, golfers who are more in the beginning stages of their golfing journey, all playing this driver. And I think it's a good blend of great ball speed, forgiveness, and a little bit of spin control and spin retention. And it just fits a ton of players. So whether you're playing for your club championship or fighting to go through to a U.S. Open qualifier or something like that, or you're just out there having fun and battling your friends like I do, this is a driver that could fit you. And it's just super versatile. Not as much adjustment as the GT3. You don't have any crazy movable weights. It has one weight on the back, but it's really more for swing weight purposes. But it does have the sure fit hosel, so you can kind of dial it in a little bit. A decent amount of loft options in the GT2, but it sounds and feels good. It looks good. Everything about it is just a really solid driver for a bunch of players. And that one came in number 1 at 22.9% of the vote. GT3 came at 16.55. But 22.91%, so almost 23% of the vote was for GT2, which is pretty impressive for a driver to win by that much. You would think it was going to be a lot closer between others, and it's also interesting to see 2 Titleist and 2 Ping drivers on the list, kind of side by side. I mean, both those are brand new. I mean, GT2 doesn't feel as new since it came out kind of end of 25, but the G440 being brand new. you're always seeing the kind of the brand new stuff, jump in there. But yeah, GT2 is just was really solid. So that is the top 5, and then right after that, if you're kind of looking at 6, would be the Cobra DS Adapt Max K, which, I mean, I've heard absolutely nothing but amazing things for. I have not found the success with it personally. I think the ball speed's great. It seems to be pretty darn forgiving, but I haven't found that I'm hitting it as well as some other people. But a really, really nice driver there. So the DS Adapt Max K, and then after that one, the Ping G430 Max 10K was another one. So it's 10K drivers right out of the gate. That were 5 and 6, or I mean, sorry, 6 and 7. But I mean, every driver this year is pretty darn good. Nothing is. You can't sell golf equipment nowadays without making a good driver. If you have a piece of junk, it's going to be sought out very, very fast, very quickly, and it's going to, it's not going to be hit. It's not going to be sold. Fitters aren't going to put it in people's hands. So you better have something that's really, really good. So those are the top kind of 7 in a way. I'll say that the one that I thought was kind of snubbed a little bit was just that you didn't see on the list really until further down. It only got 2.34% of the vote. I thought the DS Adapt X, just the standard X head, was really, really good, and I thought that thing was fast. I love what they did with what Cobra did with putting kind of the weight bar forward in the 9-degree head, then shifting that weight back in the 10.5. Allowing kind of a lower spin head for those lower lofts or the people who need it, and then having a little bit of more stability in the top, in the 10.5 degree and up heads. So I thought what they did there was pretty cool. I thought it helped, fitters especially kind of not necessarily have to put people in LS heads. Gives them a little bit of an option to go somewhere else there. And everything I've heard from all the fitters and me hitting it too personally is you're basically seeing great ball speed out of those DS Adapt heads. So that was kind of my dark horse that I thought got a little bit of a snub on that list. The other one, too, that just because it's not, the other snub I'll kind of say, is the PXG Black Ops, the standard Black Ops driver. I think that is a driver that's just not in enough shops at the moment. There's not enough places fitting it, and it makes it really difficult to try it. And I think if more people tried it, they'd realize how good of a driver it is. It's extremely stable. It's very fast. It does everything really, really well. And you just don't see it at enough places. So not enough people have tried it to be able to put it on the list. It wasn't unless you could choose, but there just weren't enough people out there who actually hit it to see how good it was. But I think it's a great driver that is kind of relatively unknown at the moment, but really, really solid. So that is the top drivers from our members' choice. And then we move into fairway woods. So again, fairway woods, same thing, putting it out there and seeing what people like. We'll start again at number 5. And it is the Titleist GT3. Much like the driver, I think this is, if you're a tinkerer or, a person who's into adjustability, really wants to dial something in, that GT3 is phenomenal. It definitely does launch a little bit lower than GT2 for me. Nothing crazy, though. It's not hard to elevate. It doesn't come out crazy low. It just comes out at a slightly lower window. But having that ability to have that sole weight that you can shift out to the toe, down to the heel, 5 different positions. Then you have the sure fit hosel. I mean, it's just an adjustability, magnet. If you like messing around, and I love tinkering, but that thing there, you can really tinker, mess around, and figure out your exact setup, really, really easily and mess around. So again, you have the new crown on it, so it has some weight that's moved around, but a really solid fairway that I think gets pigeonholed as only a better player, type of club, but I think it fits a little wider range than that. I think you can be a little bit higher up on that handicap number and still play that thing with some good success. So that one there got, like I said, 5.41% of the vote. And moving to number 4 at 7.37%. Number 4 is the Callaway Elite Titanium, which I was really shocked at. I expected Elite to be on here. They make really, Callaway did a great job with fairway woods this year, but I was really shocked to see the titanium version, only because of the price point. I would have thought a lot of people would have, kind of gawked or passed on that just because of what that thing costs. Titanium fairways are not cheap. But if you do go hit it and you do really like it, it is an absolute monster. The titanium face, I mean, I saw ball speeds that rivaled mini drivers with it. it goes a long way. It's really stable. It's very straight, and it's fairly easy to launch off the deck. Maybe not as high as standard Elite X or something like that, or standard Elite or Elite X, but it's still pretty easy to get up in the air. The face is just a little bit deeper than like say Elite X or Elite, so you can hit it off the tee I think with a little bit more confidence. But a really great great fairway width I think is only held back by the fact that it's expensive, and of course titanium fairways are always pretty darn expensive. So at number 3 is Titleist GT2. So driver went 1, fairway wood went 3, and again I think this one is just another very versatile 3-wood that just can fit a lot of players. While it doesn't have the adjustability of GT3, you still have the sure fit hosel. And if you could get fit, they make a wide range of lofts on this one. So for me, when I went and got fit, I got fit into the 16.5 degree head, which is kind of a 4-wood. But they make a 3, they make a 5, they make a 7. All that. You can get a bunch of different fairways, a bunch of lofts in this fairway. So easy to hit. This one for me was funny. I got fit into it last year, and then I took it out and in the beginning when I first got it, I didn't hit it really well, and then I took it on this guy's trip that I went on last weekend. I took it on that one in 24, and it was funny. I took it out on a par 5. I hit it into the wind, and I hit this high towering shot that I was like, that's great, but it's not going to get anywhere close to the green. And I walked up, and that was so much closer to the green than I thought. So really impressive that they're long, they're easy to hit, and they look great from address. So really like the GT2 and what they did there. Now, number 2 at 15.48% of the vote is the TaylorMade QI35. The core model is everybody's kind of like, calling this middle of the road, but the QI35. And I think this just proves that just because Scotty and Rory aren't playing QI35s does not mean that the line is not good. Every fitter I talked to was high on the drivers. They're really high on the fairway woods, and it looks like the members are high on the fairway wood as well. And I think this is, again, one of those blend of it's long, it's easy to hit, it launches high, and then you have a little bit of adjustability with them adding their adjustable hosel to it as well. So I really like this thing a lot. It's funny, I'm actually taking it out as 3-wood in my my league tonight, which is pretty funny to that it's on here. But I think it's super easy to hit. I know the shaping has changed a little bit. Some people don't like that. They like the old kind of what the LS looks like now. They like that more kind of like pear teardrop shape. Where this now, the QI35 has gone to that more rounded, more kind of shape of the Max. And really, they just did it. I mean, I got to talk to the guys at TaylorMade, and they did it because they wanted to make it more stable. They wanted to make it easier to hit and straighter. And the only way to do it was to change the shape and add some more perimeter weighting and kind of stretch it out. And I don't think they did a bad job. I think it looks really good, and it plays really, really well. I probably hit the best drive that I can think of over a 3-wood off the deck with that club at the beginning of the year in my league. I mean, just off the deck on a par 5, just absolutely smoked. It was high, it was towering, it just went a long way. Everything about it, I was just shocked at how good that is. So, again, I think TaylorMade's the QI35 is much better than people are giving it credit for because they're just looking at the tour use, not at the use at the amateur level. So that is number 2, and the number 1 with 23.34% of the vote is the Ping G440 Max. And much like I just kind of talked about a little bit with QI35, I think this is the head that, again, when people see the Max names, they go, ugh, it's Max, it's high launching and high spinning, and all it is forgiving, and, I'm a better player, I can't play this thing. Listen, the Max is phenomenal, and I think, Ping did a really good job with this thing. They changed the shape a little bit. It's a little bit more rounded near the back. What they did with that rear weight from 430 to 440, it kind of smooths it out a little bit. That weight port kind of slid out, and you can see the little bit of that on the G430. And it didn't look bad by any means, but this is definitely more cleaner, a little more round. And again, I think the sound and feel on the G440 Max are really, really good. They're a little bit larger in terms of the profile when you look down on them. So that definitely gives you a little bit more confidence in terms of hitting them. But super easy to launch, super high, go super high. And honestly, they've got good ball speed, and they've made that face a little bit deeper for the 440 style version. So hitting it off the tee, no big deal compared to the G430 Max. I thought that was a little shallow, great off the deck. Teeing it up, I felt I had to be very careful of how high I teed it. This one here now, I feel like you can kind of tee it up normally and hit it on like a short par 4 or something like that without any problem. But Ping definitely did a really nice job with that, and people for sure noticing. And then the one after that, which on the article we didn't put the percentages, unfortunately, but the Callaway Elite, the QI35 Tour, the Cobra DS Adapt X, and then the Callaway Elite Triple Diamond, and the Ping G440 LST were kind of the next, 6 through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those, 6 through 10 would be those there. In terms of dark horse kind of sleeper, I think, again, just not enough people have tried it. I think, honestly, the Tour Edge fairways, that C725 is an absolute killer. I think it's one of the most underrated fairways out there. I'm amazed it didn't get many votes on here. Didn't make the top 10 for sure. That thing is really good. Titanium face, tungsten built into it. Everything about it, it's a really good fairway. And I'm kind of, and I'm not shocked because, Tour Edge, unfortunately, is not the big mainstream brand like others. But it's one of those ones that I think, if you know, and if you tried it, what kind of, machine that thing is and the performance it provides. So that would be my snub for the fairways. But overall, a really good list there for fairway woods. And then we moved to hybrids, which just got actually posted like 7 hours ago. I'm recording this on Wednesday, but it just got recorded or just got posted. So we have the brand new list here. And this one here is interesting because I feel like the number one is probably one of the biggest wins I've ever seen in terms of percentages. But we'll start with, the number 5, and it was actually a tie at 5.98%, a tie. So basically we're calling it T4. There's no 5. It's 2 of them tied for 4th. Both at 5.98%, the Cobra King Tech, which is brand new, and the Cobra DS Adapt. So both of these on here tied for 4th and 5th place. And we'll start with the King Tech. I think the King Tech is, again, a super underrated hybrid. If you're somebody who's kind of like, man, I'm really scared of going left with a hybrid, this thing here gives you a ton of options. Take that heavy weight, move it out to the toe. It's got the Future Fit 33 hosel. Make it flat. That bad boy ain't going left. It is just going to go straight. It's definitely much more compact this year. It's a much smaller head, deep face. I think the better player is going to hit it off the tee a lot, whether on a short par 4 or into a long par 3. You're going to have that ability off the deck. It's actually pretty easy to hit. It's got a little bit more penetrating flight, but it's super anti-left if you want to set it up that way. And if you want to draw it, you set it up the opposite. Throw the heavy weight in the heel, make it a little more upright. But that Future Fit hosel is going to be a big game changer. So the King Tech is really underrated. And then the DS Adapt is kind of a little bit of the opposite. It's a high launching, easy to hit, fairway or a hybrid that's got a little bit more size to it. When you look down at it, a little bit more traditional. And it's just meant to be more forgiving. There's not there's one weight in the back, all the way back. It's really more for like the swing weight type thing. But it still has the Future Fit 33 hosel. So the nice thing is there too is, like, say you buy a 4 hybrid that's 21 degrees, you can use that to kind of dial it in, make it a little more loft, less loft. You can get the gapping just right, being able to adjust the hosel and all that. But if you're looking to hit a little bit higher, make it a little bit more forgiving, a little more straight, the DS Adapt Hybrid is a great complement to the King Tech, and it all depends on what you need in your end of the bag. But both those really, really good, and 5.98% of the vote. Then at 3, with 6.77% of the vote, you have the TaylorMade QI35 Rescue. Again, I think this one is a great thing. They kind of took last year with the QI10, they had a QI10 Rescue, and then they had a QI10 Rescue or Tour Rescue. So they had 2. They had a Tour and a regular. And this year they just TaylorMade wiped out the Tour, and now you just have the QI35 Rescue. And when you look at that thing, it's a great size. I think it's smaller than what the previous just Rescue was, but it's definitely bigger than the Tour. They just kind of cut it right down the middle. It's got a little deeper face to it. Looks really good from address. I think they kind of nailed it with how that works. It still has the adjustable hosel on it. So again, when the 3 or whatever is 19 degrees, you can go ahead and adjust that. Take it down, up, make it a little more upright, a little more flat. You have those options to kind of really dial it into your bag. But sound and feel is really good. It's got that just the metallic, ting of stainless steel. But it's a really, really good hybrid out there from a look standpoint and a performance. Definitely a little bit higher launching than, say, like the King Tech in terms of that. I think it's got a little higher window to it, but a really solid one there. Then number 2, with 17.13% of the vote, is the Titleist GT2. And the GT2 is probably what is the most stable, most forgiving hybrid in the Titleist lineup. I've been playing this for a little bit. In my 4, the funny is I actually have a 5 turned down. The 4 is 21, the 5 is 24. I have the 24 turned down to 23. and slightly longer shaft in it, and it's just super easy to hit, and it just goes straight. The heel and toe weights on it will not only give it a draw or a little bit more neutral or fade bias, they add stability. Moves all that weight out to the toe and heel, and I'll tell you what, mishits go really solid. It does not fly insanely high. It was a little bit flatter than I thought, even with like the stock Tensei AV blue in it, or Tensei 1K blue in it. But it does still get a ball up in the air. It's super forgiving. It's long. It's got great ball speed. But I really like this one a lot. I think it's kind of an underrated one for players who are a little bit higher handicapped. And honestly, I think the looks wise, I like it better than GT3. I think it's got a little more rounded, softer look to it. So that is one that I've been a bigger fan of. And then number one with 41.83% of the vote. Yes, 41.8. Crazy, almost half of the voters went for this thing. It is the Ping G440 Max. G430 won it before. G440 is winning it now, and it's a great hybrid. It really is. I've got a 4 hybrid of that. It is super easy to hit. It goes high off the deck. It's really, really easy. The face is a little shallow. I don't love hitting off the tee as much as some other hybrids. It still works there just fine. But that G440 Max, and I think the other thing that's cool about this hybrid is that the lower the loft, I think they go down to a 17, they change the shaping. So the 17 is a little bit more compact. It's not as big. It's a little more player focused, comes out a little lower. And as you go up, up into, 3, 4, 5, you just kind of go up. These things fly a little bit higher, and they go a little easier, a little bit more forgiving. And as you trend down to that 17 degree, it's a little flatter, a little more penetrating, a little more workable. And I think they kind of looked at it and said, well, there's not going to be too many high handicap players playing a 17 degree hybrid. So let's go ahead and make that more for the better player, and then we'll kind of taper it back and make stuff more forgiving and easier to hit as you go down the line. So a really, really good setup there. Easy to hit. Again, a good amount of adjustability with their hosel on there. With the flat settings, the standard settings, up and down. You can kind of change the loft, dial it in to what you need. And from address, it looks pretty good. I will say that the 440 maybe just looks a hair shut compared to the 430 at address, but other than that, good sound and feel like the 440 has, and easy to hit, high, gets up in the air, really, really easy. So those are your top 5, and then the other ones there that came in behind it. So Titleist GT3, Titleist GT1, the Srixon ZXI, the Callaway Elite, and the PXG Black Ops 0311. So all of those came in at 6 through 10. And I will say, out of that group, I think that Black Ops, fairway or a hybrid is really kind of underrated. It's the one that nobody talks about, but again, good adjustability. I played it as a 4-iron all last year. I thought it was really good. I like the look of it from address, much like TaylorMade. I think they kind of got the size right in terms of being in between like a Tour and a Max or whatever. It ended up being really, really good there. I think that's a solid one. Again, just not a lot of shops unless you go to like a PXG store. It's a little bit harder to find and harder to hit. But once you do, it's really, really good. And then the GT1 is one of those ones. Talk about just like tinker's delight, man. You got movable weights, adjustable hosel, and then it's got, they built it where it'll fit the hybrid or they make either a 370 or 335, 335 hosel on there, so you can actually put in a wood shaft, you can put in a hybrid shaft, you can make it kind of a mini fairway, you can make it a hybrid, you can do whatever. And I think that's really cool that they made that thing so adjustable to really, be able to find that perfect fit into somebody's bag that maybe a hybrid is sometimes hard to do. So very cool there with all the adjustability. So those are the 3 Members' Choice so far. Yes, irons, wedges, ball, putter. I mean, those are all coming out. Even wood shafts, which I'm excited about. So those are all coming shortly. But right now they are, those are the top 3. So those are Members' Choice. So again, the winners out there, GT2 for the driver in terms of the winners. The fairway wood is the Ping G440 Max, and then the hybrid is Ping G440 Max. So all the winners so far, and we'll continue to kind of publish those throughout the week. So if you take a look at the GolfWRX main page, you will definitely see more of that stuff coming again and again. So all right, so that is Members' Choice for right now, and super excited, to see more of that. And then, so my trip is done. Went on the trip, and I know everybody's going to want to know, did you win? How'd you play? Whatever. And I will say that my team unfortunately lost. So we did lose. It was the second tightest event we've ever had. Last year being the tightest. Last year was 6 points separated both teams, and I think it's a total of 460 total points. Last year we lost by 6. This year we lost by 11. And I'm going to take a lot of the blame for that. On Saturday, I played really, really poorly. Just really, really bad. For 36 holes, I literally couldn't hit the ball. It didn't matter. The only thing that the club in the bag that was still there was putter. I putted okay, but teed onto the green. Everywhere else, I pretty much just flat out struggled. So it was tough. I was extremely frustrated. I felt bad. Thankfully, the first round, the first match, we ended up winning. My partner Eddie, him and I have always played against each other. This is the first year we've actually been on the same team. Him and I played together, and he played phenomenal. He put me on his shoulders, carried us to victory in the morning 18, and then in the second 18, I kind of let my buddy Ben down with a pretty poor performance there. The thing that stinks is that I've been that guy before who I get in a situation where I'm not playing well and I'm struggling, and I just kind of give up. I just say I don't care anymore, and I don't really try, and I just kind of like want to walk away. And while I was at that point, a lot of times, I didn't do that. And I even went into it like, we finished the front 9. I played god awful. I'm like, all right, back 9, new 9, let's go. Try to focus, hit some shots. And none of it happened. I was just hitting these dead left. There was no I wouldn't even say like, oh, you were just like hooking it. Like it was hooking, slicing, hitting it fat, topping it. I was doing everything, and it was an absolute struggle. So my overall record for 5 matches, because you have 4 18 rounds, and then the Sunday singles. So you do, we play 36, 36, 18 as official rounds. I still went 4-1, which was still pretty darn good. But I feel like if I could have played a little bit better Saturday, we would have cut into that lead a little bit more, and who knows what would have happened. But yeah, so we went down on Thursday. We played a place called Hickory Stick, just south of Indianapolis. Super nice course. It unfortunately just rained, so it was cart path only, which I absolutely hate. There was I think twice where I just take my whole bag off the cart, walk across the fairway, and go find my ball because I had no idea the distance or anything. And then, other times you'd walk over there and realize like you had too much club or too little club. And it was just, it was one of those, I hate doing that. But a really nice course, like the layout. It was pretty fair. Now, if you got in the long grass there, it was brutal. Like the first hole, I hit it in off the tee. I literally topped it into the long grass. And it took me like 3 to get it out of there. And then I just had to take a drop. It was really bad. And after that, I played really well. Played really well on that course, and had a lot of fun. That's just like a fun round. We don't it's not kept score or anything. We just kind of play some matches and stuff. And then then we jump into Friday, and Friday was at the French Lick Resort where we play. I got to play the Pete Dye course, and I'll tell you what, that place was absolutely spectacular. From just the stupid views. From the top of the hill where they call it the mansion, where the pro shop, and the mansion is the place that has like the restaurant bar type stuff. It was insane. It was beautiful. You look out over there and it was crazy. But the wild thing is, if you want to play it from gold, the tips, it's like 8,100 yards, which is insane. I think it's like one of the hardest or one of the highest slope or rating courses in the country. But I think the other ones that are higher are like, I think it's Bethpage, and then there's like a place in Colorado. But the place in Colorado, you played elevation. So even at 8,100, it doesn't play like that. But this place was crazy. We didn't play those tees. We played it up from there, which was good. But it was really good. It was beautiful. It was in amazing shape. The greens were super fast, and I putted amazing on them. Me and that Kevin Burns putter just rocked through that 36. I putted really, really well. Hit some really good shots, and won both those matches. We were solid. It was fun. I liked that course a lot. The only thing I didn't love 18 because the drive on it. To me, 18 should be a great risk reward hole. It should be a hole that you either go for it and try to make birdie to win your match, or you lay up and you play for the tie or whatever. Like, it should have some options on how to play it. And the landing area with driver is so tiny that all the risk is basically hitting off the tee. And then after that, then you got to decide, okay, am I hitting my second? If you're in play, am I hitting my second shot and trying to carry the ravine, which it's this huge like bowl that just drops like, I mean, it's got to be 50, 70 feet. And do you hit it, and if you come up short, you're going down there, or do you, or somewhere on that hill, or do you play it down the right side where the fairway is, and then, hit a second shot and wedge it on, try to make your birdie or par there. I just didn't love that hole. The rest of it, I loved the layout. I thought it was really, really good. Tons of just drop-offs. It was like you'd have a fairway, and then on one side you have like this long grass that was just impossible to hit out of. You just had to wedge it out. And then the other side was usually some type of drop-off with some bunkers and grass, or, rough, but it was playable. And it was kind of cool. I liked the layout. It was beautiful. It was in immaculate condition. The people there were so nice, and everything about it was absolutely top notch. So I had a lot of fun there. Played pretty decent on Friday, both 18s, and I think we won both of those matches. We may have like lost the front, but then won the back and won their overall or whatever. But we won the overall 18s on that. And then we went to the Donald Ross course. They've got a Donald Ross course there as well, and that place. It's not a great course. I think the layout is phenomenal. The facilities there, while not as nice as the Pete Dye, that doesn't really affect me that much. I don't care. The restaurant area was kind of nice. They had stuff to eat in there. Good bar where you can get your beverages and your food, whatever. But it's supposedly like $150 a round course, and not that I expect crazy stuff, but like they had they had a couple of water jugs out there in the course, but like the Dye course had like coolers with water in it and stuff like that. Now, granted, that's a much more expensive course, but at $150 a round, I feel like it just, one, it didn't have many amenities. It didn't even have a range. It had some mats you could hit off of or whatever. The practice green, one whole half of it looked like bad turf at a putt-putt area. You go to some of those like cheap, crappy miniature golf places, and like the turf is worn away, and you see kind of like the black rubber underlayment or whatever it is, and you see it there, and you're like, oh man, it's all the grass fibers are worn away. Like that's how half the putting green looked like. The putting green, and we had like an 8:30 tee off, so not crazy early. The putting green had no flags, like they had no little flags in any of the holes, any of the cups on the putting green. It was just there, and then the fairway conditions were just terrible. It's that zoysia grass, which is kind of weird. But, one, it doesn't look like the maintenance ever goes out and fixes any of the divots that were left. Two, there's like grass clippings and, just kind of mowing debris just kind of everywhere. And then also the fairways had big sections of like kind of dead clumped grass from like mowing that just kind of stuck, and it was just brown and just there. And then big sections that were just dirt, that like most of the grass had died off, and it's just kind of like dark grayish dirt. And that's it. And it was everywhere. It wasn't just like, oh, one hole had a problem. Like, totally get that. I get stuff. But like the whole course was like that. It was really not that great. The greens were okay. They were significantly slower, a little bit bumpier than the Dye course. But the layout was good. I liked the layout of the Ross course. The layout was good. A lot of there weren't too many quirky, dumb holes. You do have some shots where like, man, the landing area for a tee ball and the tee box are very close. It is a little bit of a shooting gallery on that place. But the holes and stuff weren't quirky and dumb or whatnot. But the condition was not great. I was really, really disappointed with the condition. And maybe it's because you played the Dye the first day and you would expect something similar. It was terrible. It was a really, really rough shape. So I was pretty bummed. And again, like we have a whole big package because we go play all these rounds. But from what I've heard, that place is like $150 to go play it, and it's definitely not worth that. It's in worse shape than the Muni I play my league on, which is like a $50 a round on a Sunday type place. And I mean, I play this course called Bella Vista, which is kind of a diamond in the rough. So I mean, I'm not going to compare it to that. It doesn't even hold a candle to Bella. Like Bella Vista's 3 times better, if not more. I mean, the greens are way better. The fairways are immaculate compared to the Ross course. But I was really disappointed with the condition of the Ross course. I thought it was just in pretty rough shape. I played terrible on that course. And then Sunday, we went and played a place called Sultan's Run, which is like 30 minutes west of French Lick. But I guess they have a little kind of they work together, so people do go play on those court. Go from French Lick and play over there. And I'll tell you, that place is beautiful. Much like the Ross course had kind of that Zoysia fairways and stuff, which is kind of weird to get used to. It's a weird grass to hit off of, and the rough. Sometimes the ball's like sitting up perfect, other time it's sitting down. And that was a great course, though, man. It was in great shape. Same thing, like you pull up, and it's just in nice shape. Like the putting green is in the circle driver. You drop your bag off. They got a big putting green there. They have a nice range. I mean, everything about that place really, really nice. And then the 18th hole, it's got this. It's kind of a dog leg right. You hit out there, and then there's a waterfall kind of behind the green, and then up on the left is the clubhouse. So I hit a great second shot into like 8 feet, and some of the people up there were clapping and stuff, and it was pretty cool. But that place, really nice, in great condition, really nice layout, and I think the place, I've heard it. I thought somebody said it's like $75. I'd play that 1,000 times over that Ross course over at French Lick. It was just that much nicer, but a really cool place. So had fun there. Again, hit driver better than Saturday for sure, but still driver was a lot of heel, just hitting off the heel. And I'd hit shots in the fairway. They just weren't going anywhere. So I was, by far the shortest driver of the group. And I was always scared of where I was hitting it. And I think playing a round of golf at a nicer, slightly harder course when you're playing scared is always tough. But I played so badly Saturday. I think this is, I think, puts it in perspective, because you guys know me. I bring 2 full bags down there. I'm ready to switch stuff out at a moment's notice. I played so bad on Saturday that I didn't even consider putting anything new in the bag, because I knew nothing I brought was going to save me from what I just did on Saturday. Like how bad I played, no club out there was going to save me. So didn't even look to put anything else in the bag, just played with what I got. So that's how bad it was on Saturday into Sunday. But definitely played better on Sunday. And it was funny. So so on Sunday, you play, so Friday, Saturday, you play 9-hole matches that are like, we rotate between 2-man best ball, 2-man scramble, 2-man, what do you call it? 2-man modified alternate shot, 2-man shamble. Like we kind of rotate a bunch of different games. And on Sunday, you just match play your opponent. You get paired up, and this is the first year we did handicaps. Like we're actually using a percentage of handicaps, giving strokes. So that was what it was. And then we went out Sunday, and I played so bad Saturday. I was supposed to give the guy Drake. I was supposed to give Drake 2 strokes, and technically Drake is 1 stroke better than me on the Ginn. So you look on Ginn, he was like a 10.8. I'm in like 11.1. Or no, he's a 10.2. I'm like an 11.1 or whatever it was at the time. I was like, well, why am I giving him 2? Like I played so bad on Saturday, both rounds, and he's better than me, whatever. So we negotiated, just played even. And then of course I caught a lot of shit because I won. So then I came in, and of course everybody's giving me crap about like, oh yeah, you had to go fight for your strokes. And to be honest, Drake just didn't play well. He's a good player. He just didn't play well that day. So I thought it would have been. I think it would have been a lot closer had he just had a little better game that day. But I had it on Saturday, and I gained it back. I guess I found it on Sunday. So it just depends on what day you struggle. But still love Drake. He's a good dude. But it was a whole lot of fun. So unfortunately we were down 20 after Saturday. So Saturday night we were down 20, and then went into Sunday, and we pulled nine back out of it, but we still lost by 11. So unfortunately, 2 years in a row I've lost. So next year I definitely got to bring a little bit more of an A game across all 3 days, because I would like to win. I'm sick of losing 2 years in a row. It's a bummer. So. It was a great time, though. Good seeing everybody. A lot of those guys I only see once a year, so it was awesome seeing everybody and just getting out there and having a blast. So it was fun. Perfect weather, everything. It was an awesome trip. So it was a fun time. The Sarago was a big success for 2025. So looking forward to 2026 and what we do there. But that's my show. That's all I've got today. So hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Play some golf if you can. I'm going to play my league. I don't know if I'm playing any golf this weekend. I don't think I will. So play around for me, hit a ball for me, and we'll go ahead and jump into it next week. Talk about some clubs.